everybody, it is National Nutrition Month, and I want to talk to you about National Nutrition Month of 2023's topic, which is Fuel for the Future. And I typically do not like the topics that the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics sets forth for National Nutrition Month because I don't know, I just don't really think that they align with, with what I do specifically. But this year, Fuel for the Future, they are really going more towards a, fueling for the global health or earth health kind of a deal. And as a sports dietitian that works primarily with younger athletes, I'm going to turn that a little bit and say, we're going to talk about fueling for your future. So this video today is going to be about what I would have told my younger self now, what I would have told my younger self. So back when I was in my teens, if you don't know my story, I grew up as I played a lot of different sports, but my main sport was swimming. So I was a competitive swimmer for a number of years. And so once I got into my, I think probably about 18, when I went off to college, I went to culinary school. I wound up gaining a lot of weight. I didn't know how to lose it. I wound up having an eating disorder for a number of years, and probably about 10 years. So you know what? Looking back now, especially working with a lot of teens that have disordered eating and struggle with that, what I would tell myself back then is, one, don't compare yourself to others, which is really hard when you're in a sport where that's what you do. That's how you are judged, is by how you are performing compared to others. But what I would challenge you to do is to turn that a little bit and think about, how did I perform today versus a week ago, a month ago, last year? Did I run faster? Did I feel stronger? Did I score more goals? Whatever. And use that as your basis, because you can only really compare yourself to yourself, to be fair, to see where your progress is. So if you're comparing yourself to another person, you don't know what that other person's story is. And me being a sports dietitian, I get a rare glimpse into people's lives and how they eat and how they view their bodies and their relationship with food. And I'll tell you, sometimes it is not pretty. So you really just don't know what is going on behind closed doors. And so I think it's not a fair comparison if you were comparing yourself to somebody else. The other thing is, I would really focus on fueling your body for your future. And what I mean by that is feeding your muscle and feeding your body so that you are at an optimal health. It is crazy how much what you eat as a kid or as a teen or as a young adult, how that affects you later on in adulthood. So for example, probably the most well-known is for people that are, I'll just say specifically females that are struggling with an eating disorder, that don't get their menstrual cycle, that can, cause bone loss and weaken their bones, so that later on in life, probably not so common at a teenager's age, but it does happen. More so common as they get a little bit older into adulthood, after, the age of 30, when you stop building bone, is getting osteoporosis. So that's where you are getting weak and brittle bones, and you are more likely to just break a bone. You could be that old lady with a, broken hip, but you could be that old lady with a broken hip at 40 years old. So that's probably the most well-known. But another important factor is how not eating, restricting your intake because you want to lose weight, or, sometimes teens will restrict their intake because they want to perform better, and all these lots of different things. But restricting your intake can actually have an effect on reduced digestive enzymes in your gut, which then leads to not being able to break down and metabolize your food as well. And then that can cause a lot of gas and bloating and stomach upset. Also, it has a major effect on your gut microbiome, and there's a lot of information now coming out about your gut microbiome and how that plays a role in your overall health. immediately, and then also years down the road. So that can, if you have basically your gut microbiome is the balance of bacteria, good bacteria to bad bacteria within your digestive system. So if you have an overgrowth, let me pronounce that correctly, of bad bacteria and not enough of the good bacteria, then you can wind up having a lot of medical conditions like autoimmune conditions, diabetes, obesity is definitely one of those things, infertility, just lots of crazy things. And so what I would challenge anybody that is a young athlete, young adult, even adults, is to really focus on fueling your body and feeding your muscle, because your muscle, when you do that, that is going to help to keep you healthy. So your muscle is going to, one, keep your metabolic rate high. Two, it's going to provide power and strength, and so that you can perform better in your sport. It's also going to protect your bones so that you're less likely to break a bone or have an injury. And then also it's just going to provide better health for you for the rest of your life, now and later on. So these are the things that I would tell myself, my younger self. One, don't compare yourself to others. So if you are a younger athlete watching this, get rid of social media. It is just not worth your time. And two is to fuel your body for your future. So I hope you all like this video. If you do, please share it with other people, because anybody could benefit from this information. I know I certainly would have if I was 18 years old watching this. So if you need help with this, there are lots of different things that you can do. One is you can head on over to my website, elitenutritionandperformance.com. You can check out my blog. So elitenutritionandperformance.com/blog. There's tons of articles about this. I'm very passionate about this. You can also head over to truesport.org. So I'm their sports nutrition expert, and there's lots of information on there about fueling your body, especially for young athletes, specifically for young athletes. Also, there is a conference that's coming up that I'm going to start releasing more information about, that I have contributed to, that's specifically for young athletes and how to fuel your body. And so just look for that on Instagram, Facebook, or also my newsletter that goes out, and I'll give you more information on when that is and how you can join that for free. But certainly if this is something that you need help with, check out those resources, and you are certainly welcome to reach out to me, and I'm happy to help you. Thanks, you all. Have a great rest of your day.